Good day. My name is Mrs. Fumi Bajula. I'm a business consultant by profession, Managing Director of Afcon Recruit Limited. I'm qualified in business analysis and requirements engineering, which gives me the right to talk to you today. Afcon Recruit now offers a 360-degree business automation solution. So basically, we're going to help businesses become relevant in the global economy, taking into cognizance what the AI revolution is bringing to play. We're going to be looking at providing documentation, processes, structure, communication channels, installing software for automation, training staff, implementing change management and continuous performance management so that your organization can stay relevant in the AI revolution. If you look at the book of Genesis from chapters 37 to chapter 50, you will get full details on the story of Joseph. But I'll give you a brief. Joseph was born into a family of 12 children and emerged the favorite of his dad. While his elder brothers were sent to tend to sheep, he stayed at home with his dad to help do home chores, maybe even prepare the food for his brothers. On a certain day, he was given a task by his dad to go and deliver food to his brothers and ensure that they are fine while they were at work. Now, the brothers took that occasion to try to kill him, but one of the brothers saved his life by suggesting that he be sold into slavery. Now, Joseph was sold into slavery and appeared to be bought in the house of Potiphar. And when he was brought in the house of Potiphar, the Bible tells us that he rose to the general manager of Potiphar's household. Now let's stop here. In the previous segment, we were talking about the mindset of the employee, and the employee who is embittered or angry at the employer seems to deliver service below standard. But note, Joseph comes from a track of emotional disadvantage. However, he chose to deliver excellent service regardless of what was done to him. Now let me give you a bit more on the story in Potiphar's house. While Joseph was in Potiphar's house, he did so well that Potiphar was able to leave his job and hand over to Joseph. Potiphar was the CEO when Joseph came in, and Potiphar then became chairman and handed over the role of CEO to Joseph. But what happened while he was giving all his time and giving his best at work? He was framed. He was framed by Potiphar's wife. She wanted to have sexual relations with him. He refused, and then she reported that he had raped her. His master, knowing that he was a loyal servant, a loyal employee, knowing that he has been able to leave all that he has to this man, and that while this man had been working in his house had been improved, he saved his life by sending him to prison. Very funny, but that was actually saving Joseph's life, because if he had left him to the full brunt of the law, he would have been executed. Now, this is another reason why Joseph should become thrifty, should become angry, and should say to himself, whenever I work for anybody else, I'm not going to give my best, I'm going to be horrible, I'm going to cheat the system. But guess what? When Joseph got to prison, he did the same thing. So in the prison, Joseph still came out on top. He was still brought to the limelight, and you could say he was general manager in the prison. Now, in his interactions with the head of the prison, in his interaction with his prison mates, he was found a contributive person, he was found valuable, and he was found helpful. What was Joseph's secret? Joseph prayed to the God of Israel and received information, counsel, and direction from the God of Israel. So the output that came from Joseph was independent of his working environment, the working conditions, or the terms of service. What did this do for Joseph? It put him at the position of advantage everywhere he was. So what happened next? While Joseph was in prison, he helped one of the prison mates who happened to be the butler and the baker for the current Pharaoh. When the butler came out and was turned to his duties, having been acquitted as Joseph interpreted his dream, he remembered a Joseph in prison. And what happened next, when there was a problem, a major situation that needed to be handled, Joseph was called to the house of the prime minister. And immediately, having given the strategy, solutions, and the implementation plan to solve this problem, he was given the role of prime minister over the nation. Now look at that trend. It was not that Joseph was ever put in the best working conditions. He was not given the best benefits and compensations in his track record, but he eventually arrived prime minister of Egypt. The question is, do you want to be embittered by your working conditions or being cheated in the organization? Or do you want to build yourself to become a candidate to be the prime minister of the organization where you are? So if you look at the expectations of the employee or the non-Joseph employee, he would only give what he is given, or he will get embittered, he will try to cheat the system. But the Joseph employee always looks out for the betterment of the organization, looks out for strategies and solutions that he can contribute. Now, when he gets impossible situations, he doesn't fold his arm and say, listen, everybody knows this is impossible. He takes a step further and he prays to the God of Israel passionately, expecting a solution. And when he gets that solution, he delivers it in the play of men and then gets them to the point where they want to be. When you are able to contribute to your organization and move them to the level where they want to be, you will become the prime minister of the organization. This is the Joseph employee, and that is the way to get what you want in an organization as opposed to complaining and trying to grab it. So let's look at the next segment on how to stay ahead in your organization and in the global labor market. I hope you're getting a lot from this. Stay tuned.